Hello, everybody. My name is MrGamingGuitarist, and welcome to the series premiere of a brand new show I'm doing called... Hang on, just 1 second. 1 second. Now it's 2 seconds now. 3 seconds. When am I going to find it? Okay, there we go. I almost forgot the name of my own goddamn show. Great start. This show is called Your Mind Goes Blank. And the idea of this show is I talk about literally anything that pops into my brain at this given moment of the time of the recording. And I fully acknowledge this show could fail, but I haven't done anything as far as a show idea in quite some time. I mean, in the past, I've done Me Eating, Flush Madness, Altoid Rebirth, and, I've made my occasional guitar covers, and more recently I released an EP back in September, which I'm very proud of. You can watch that. So, anyways, now that you know the idea of this show, let's get this show on the road. Start the theme song. So, welcome. Here it is, episode 1 of Your Mind Goes Blank. It's going on right now, and this is probably the stupidest show I've ever made, because it's just a bunch of nothing. And, I might get lots of dislikes, but that's the whole point. At least I tried. And so we will see what will happen, but right now this is just me. It's pretty much a show to showcase how stupid or how insane I am about any thought that goes into my brain. And the show is called Your Mind is Blank Your Mind Goes Blank, for one simple reason. It's because I will keep on talking to the point where it gets so stupid that your mind goes blank for my dumbness. So what exactly am I going to talk about today? I'll tell you what I talked about today. Well, I don't know if you saw it, but today I made a video about how Ben Affleck He's committing to making the Batman movie, but he pretty much just wants everyone to get off his back and let him do his job, and I fully agree with him, and you can see the video I made about that. You can watch that. And so what else do I want to mention today? Like I said, I'm digging through this old head of mine, trying to come up with whatever is in this brain. So, I have a mustache. I've had this mustache since December, or it's like I've been growing out my facial hair since December, but it wasn't until the new year began when I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna trim everything and have just a mustache to see what it looks like, because I can't, I'm sure you've seen in the past, if you've been watching my videos for quite some time, I can't grow a beard at all to save my life. So, nothing connects. It's all I normally get is just the mustache here, and then I get like the soul patch area, and then I get like this goatee area here, and then like the sideburn. This mirroring freaks me out. By the way, you get the sideburns here, but it just goes straight down, and nothing connects. And I kind of hate that the area that's the thickest, that has the most wide area connected together, is just the neck. And, most people talk about how the neck area of the beard is, most people don't pretty much most people say having the neck beard is a stereotype, and that's why I'm kind of committing to this new look of just the mustache. Let me know what you think. Do I look stupid with the mustache? Do I look okay with it? I think it's okay. And, some people will say, do whatever you think. But at this point, if enough people even watch this, which I sincerely doubt nobody watches, and that's the point. That's the whole thing. Is that I'm trying to do YouTube as a full-time career. This is my number one goal. This is my number one dream. Ever since I watched X Play for the very first time when I was 9 years old. I watched the series premiere in 2003, and it fundamentally changed my life and helped me enter the course of where I am as a person today, all because of what Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb have done with that show. Because I'm passionate about video games, and I would like to assume there's a whole bunch of people that grew up watching G4 and Tech TV, and then ultimately when it turned into G4 Tech TV, and that was like the beginning of the end, and the ship started to go off the rails. But anyway, G4 is a fundamental part of my childhood, my growing up, my the thing that I identify with. If some people wanted to say, where does the roots of Mr. Gaming Guitarist as the man, I don't know if I can even call myself a man, because it's like, anyway, that's another rant. Anyway, I'm letting my brain talk for me here. But everything can all be traced back to G4. So would you like to know another thing I did today? Let me tell you. So for a while, so this is my Carvin V220. And of course, lots of people say, oh, if you are the guitar, what happened to the guitarist in the Mr. Gaming Guitarist? Well, the guitarist never went away. It's just that I haven't been playing all that much because, to tell you the truth, I haven't really felt all that inspired. But this is my main guitar, and I pride and joy. And I actually put this thing back into standard tuning. And I don't even know if I ever even played my guitar on the camera with the Blue Yeti actually recording it. Because before, if you're a long-time viewer of mine, you would know that I used to play with my Rock Band microphone connected to this amp I've got right here. So, and I don't have it plugged in. So, and it's funny because this video is like Mr. Gaming Guitarist's adrenaline keeps building up and up and up and up, because it feels like I'm in the middle of a nervous breakdown because I'm struggling for ideas, thinking that this show is going to fail terribly, which, and that's the thing about me. I guess you could say I don't really have a lot of optimism, a deep dive into the old psyche of MGG here, but I am not really, I'm a worrier. I worry about a lot of things that's going on. I keep on worrying that, why is my rate of growth as a YouTuber so stinted? I see lots of people that started out way newer than I am. I've had this YouTube channel for 6 years, and there's people that have started their YouTube channels for, for example, one of my heroes is Tyrone Magnus. And he is one of the most entertaining people I've ever seen. And I have all the respect in the world for him, and, I hope one day, I can hopefully enjoy the same amount of success he has. But I think the thing with Tyrone, it's that what draws people towards him, in my opinion, is I think it's because he just has like this magnetism to him. It's like he's so entertaining and he has like this charisma and focus that it's like he demands attention, but not in a bad way. He is a scene stealer, and that and yet he's the only person in his videos. And just one guy, it's fascinating how just one guy in his apartment can be so entertaining, and yet he's doing things that most YouTubers do. Like myself, like I like to make reaction videos, and I think they're fun. And, but for some reason, the only way that any video of mine can get taken up or can get really popular is if I race to be the first to put out a video on that topic. Because, like at this rate, I've got 597 subscribers. And to everyone that has subscribed to me, I just want to say thank you so much, because you guys are the reason why I'm here and why I'm still doing YouTube. And it's 2017 now, and so it's time for me to it's time for me to start trying new ideas. And this is the start of it, because in 2017 I told myself I seriously want to invest into YouTube more, because there's lots of times where where I don't feel like it, and I think it's big where I don't feel like putting out videos. So it's like I'll put out one video here one day, and then I won't put up another video until like almost 2 weeks later, like what I did with Christmas, because I took a bit of a break there in between the with how sad I was with Carrie Fisher passing away and her mother Debbie Reynolds dying. That was just really sad, and it just I just wanted to take a break for the holidays, and I'm sorry I didn't make any announcements. If any one of you were wondering where I was during that time, I apologize. And my one big resolution for this new year is I want to be able to be more transparent with my audience as far as what's going on. Like, it's like I'm a human being like everyone else, and we all go through times when we're dealing with things. We could be busy with things, but it's like if there's like there might be personal things going on in my brain, or things going on with my hey, quick plug, the N4G TV podcast. You might want to watch that. I would hope you would watch that, because that is a weekly podcast that I do, or it's like I try to make that 4 times a month on the N4G TV YouTube channel. I've been the host of that podcast for a year now, and I'm very happy with it. I'm very proud of it, and it's a thing that gives me great joy in life to be able to host a podcast, talk with other people. It's my way of getting my foot in the door and finally having a show, having an almost weekly show where I get to talk about all the entertainment topics. And I'm happy that I finally get to do that, because one of my other heroes on YouTube, John Campia, it's like that's my way of trying to do something in the style of what Collider Movie Talk does, where it's 4 people, sometimes 5. There was one show actually where I think there were 6. I forget what episode that was on, but yeah, that was really fun, because it was me and Zach and Edward and Ray, and then we had the other Jaren, and we also had I forget who else was on it. It was some other, and Mo was on it too. I think it was the most amount of people we ever had on one episode, and I really enjoyed it. So Yeah, and lots of people, you know, I've been criticized in the past by some others, where they say you're not a real YouTuber, or you are very lazy because you don't make any edits in your videos. And, you know, and to tell you the truth, I am a lazy person, but the style of videos that I've made so far up to this point don't require any editing. So what I did with that is, that's why don't really do a lot of editing, because to tell you the truth, I'm not a big fan of editing, because I just like to, you know, I like to do it Ed Wood style. And if you don't know who Ed Wood is, he was this director that made very low budget movies. If, you know, you might be familiar with some of the movies he's done, like he did Plan 9 from Outer Space, which is supposed to be known as the best worst movie of all time. You know, best worst movie in that list, like it's up there with Tommy Wiseau's The Room and things of that nature. But it was like in black and white. I believe that was from the 50s, late 50s, early 60s, something like that. And the thing that Ed Wood lived by is just roll with it. So if I did make a mistake, or if I get interrupted in one of my videos, I just roll with it. And, you know, for me, just rolling with it is a way to keep, I don't know, it's so, some people say that it's a lack of professionalism. I've heard some people say, but for me, you know, it's the style of video that I go for. And, you know, if there's people that want to criticize me for the style of video I make, you know, it's fine. Everyone has a right to their own opinion, but also my resolution is I want to be better at YouTube, so I will try to do more editing in the future, starting with this video. I don't know how this final product is going to turn out, but I just had a quick silly idea for an intro for this, and I don't know how good or bad it's going to turn out. But yeah, you know, I'm a very nervous person. You know, I never used to be nervous before. When I was a kid, it's like I didn't give a shit. I didn't care about anything. I mean, okay, of course I cared, but as far as my attitude goes, you know, my dad, he used to say that I'm a lot like my grandfather from my dad's side. He used to say, you know, about my grandpa, he used to say he never knew a stranger. And when I was a kid, you know, around 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, is somewhere around that age, I was the kind of guy, the kind of kid where I would almost annoy someone with how much I would be able to talk to anyone. I would be able to talk their ear off. But, you know, something happened to me along the way as I grew up, as I became an adult. Yeah, people might not want to believe it, but I actually am 22 years old. You know, some people might think, hey, some people might think I'm still 16, which is funny because I still get a lot of comments on my video before where I would like the videos I used to make that were really popular, like my Fleming Steakhouse rant and my Fleming Steakhouse rant, or a video of me comparing me saying that Splinter Cell Conviction is a better game than Splinter Cell Blacklist. Shit. It's time for me to say the first title drop. Not only did your brain go blank for my utter stupidity, my brain went blank as well. I forgot what I was talking about. Something about comments and videos. Huh. The hell was I doing? awkward. Something... Well, yeah, where people... Okay, there we go. I remembered. People still leave comments on those videos today. Like, especially on the video of me eating chips with cream and jalapeno dip. I don't understand why those videos of me eating were so goddamn popular. But they are. You know, it's like quite a few of them that I've done have made over 1,000 views. And I don't know why. To tell you the truth, I think, you know, I heard, about like a year or two back, there was this phenomenon going on in South Korea called mukbang, where people can make a living out of live streaming themselves eating. And I didn't know at the time that I was doing, like, doing that, making that type of video without knowing it. And, you know, if some people want me to do it for some odd reason, I can try doing that again. I don't know, some people see the entertainment value in it. And, you know, that's the thing, you know. Sometime last year, on one of the worst days of my life, I don't want to bring attention to it because I don't want people to get that type of impression of me based on my behavior I did in this one particular video that I'm being extremely vague and anonymous about. But it's one of the first videos that pops up when you type in MrGamingGuitarist on YouTube. And I hate that it's one of the first, because, you know, it was a debate video that I lost. And you know, they said, the guy I was debating with, he said reaction videos have no entertainment whatsoever, have no entertainment value whatsoever. Just like how, and it's like, I'm in the same light, you know, it makes a question. I don't know why people find other people eating so entertaining. But I know there's a big old group out there that does find it entertaining. So I'm not judging it. I think it's fascinating how one person thinks something is entertaining while the other doesn't. You know, sort of like music for me, you know. I hate most of the modern pop stuff that comes out, and I don't really, normally, you know, the only time I listen to modern music is when an older band I like puts out a new album. So it's very rare for me to find a new artist that I like. And I used to think, stuff only in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, only that stuff is good. But I started to realize that is a very ignorant place to come from. And the thing that I just noticed about myself is, hey, it doesn't matter the year or who the artist is or where it originates from. If my ears tell my brain I like what I'm hearing, good music is good music no matter what. So I did a lot of exploring back in the older days. You know, like a few years ago, maybe this was around 2015. It's hard to believe 2015 is 2 years ago now. Good God, time goes by really fast. But I discovered, like, through, you know, it used to be called Songza, but now it's Google Play Music. It's one of my, if you don't use Google Play Music, try it, because I just love the way they curate playlists. It's so great. I love it. But it was through there that I was able to discover 3 bands / artists that I really enjoy. And if you haven't heard of them, I think you should give them a shot. First of all, there's Bon Iver, and it started out as this one guy, Justin Vernon, who in their first album he recorded everything, all the instruments by himself, and then he put a band together for his second album. And I believe the second album was self-titled. The first album was called For Emma Forever Ago, or God damn it, I've got a computer right in front of me. What am I doing? Let me just try to look it up. For Emma Forever Ago, yeah, I got that right. Second album was called Bon Iver. Third album is called 22 A Million, which is their most recent stuff. Yeah, it's made by a guy called Justin Vernon. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but he's just great. He's one of the best singers I've ever heard, and so that leads me to a second group that I discovered that I like a lot. They are called Beach House. And the main two, it's a duo pretty much. You know, they've got a band with them, but it's mostly comprised of two people. I think it's, okay, I know the singer, her name is Victoria Legrand. And let me just look it up. Victoria Legrand and Alex Scally. I really like them a lot. It sounds, the way I think of it is, when I listen to them, it's the same type of feeling that I get whenever I listen to, whenever I watch Twin Peaks and I listen to the band. It's that same feeling where the music, it feels very, sounds stupid. I don't know if this is the right word, but for me, it feels very hypnotic listening to them. It's like when you listen to them, when I listen to Beach House, it puts me into a trance, where you've got lots of like pulsing beats of, you've got a synthy organ, which I love, and she's a great singer, and her voice is has this really hypnotic, sometimes melancholy type of tone to it, and it's really good. So if you've never listened to them before, I really recommend it. Bon Iver and Beach House. I think Beach House has maybe 5 or 6 albums. I think in 2015 they released 2 albums in 2 or 3 months from each other, which I don't know of any other band that's done that recently, but then again, I don't really pay attention to a whole lot of modern music. And so, by the way, there's Twin Peaks. I mentioned Twin Peaks earlier. If you don't know about Twin Peaks, please watch it. It's a show it started out in 1990, it ended in 1991. And it's created by David Lynch and Mark Frost, and it's one of my favorite shows ever because it's so unique. It's like I can't think of anything else that's like it. And if you like David Lynch movies, like if you like Blue Velvet, which I actually saw for the first time today, loved it. It's got Kyle MacLachlan, the same guy who plays Dale Cooper, the main character in Twin Peaks. So I'm guessing that's how they met in there. And I think Kyle MacLachlan's also in Dune. And for those of you that don't know who he is, if any of you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he was Daisy's dad in season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So yeah, and I'm really, really, really excited to see him return to Twin Peaks. And it's about a small town where Dale Cooper, this FBI agent, goes to investigate. And it's not a spoiler because it's in the show synopsis. It's about the whole mystery of who killed Laura Palmer, and there's just like this wonderful, weird, sappy wackiness to the show that I just love, and I just eat it right up. I just love soaking in that tone of Twin Peaks. So give Twin Peaks a shot, and the 3rd season, after 26 years, it's finally airing, starting on May 21st on Showtime, and I plan on doing a review of that, reviewing it just like how I reviewed season 3 of *Halt and Catch Fire*. So yeah. And so I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So let me know, what do you think of this idea of a series where I just ramble on and talk about anything that pops into my head? Let me know what you think about this, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos and future episodes of Your Brain Goes Blank. And so yeah, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.